Hello, this is Palmer the coach, and welcome to the Coaching Minutes. As usual, we are continuing the discussion on this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. And if I didn't mention earlier, this book is not just a textbook on how to grow wealth from the income or earnings that you have. It's actually a collection of very, very interesting stories, tales very well told that you'd really, really enjoy reading. So it's an encouragement for those who may be wondering whether it's another of those boring books that are full of facts about money and finance. It's actually tales that are exciting, that will keep you smiling and laughing, even as they teach you very, very good lessons. So today then we are on the third chapter, which is called The 7 Cures to a Lean Pass. And in the last episode, we looked at the introduction and the very first of those cures, which was start your path to fattening. And today we are moving to the second cure of a lean path, and that is called control thy expenditures. So in this particular lesson, remember that Akkad, the richest man in Babylon, is talking to 100 citizens that are supposed to learn the ways of making money so that they can go and teach others, and the whole citizenry can hopefully become good at making wealth. And on this day, he comes and tells them, many have been asking me, how can we be saving a tenth of what we earn when the money that we earn is hardly enough to meet our own needs? And Akkad comes and tells them that amongst all of you who were here when I asked you yesterday about what you do and how much you earn, you all earn differently. Yet none of you had any money left or saved in his purse, which means then that it is not so much of how much money you have, but your capacity to be able to control your own expenses. And this is what he told them. Now I will tell thee an unusual truth about men and sons of men. It is this, that what each of us calls our necessary expenses will always grow to equal our incomes unless we protest to the contrary. All men are burdened with more desires than they can gratify. And that, my good people, is a thing we must always know. That the reason that we do not have money saved is not because we don't earn enough. Even those who earn more than us, even in multiples, have enough reasons to have things to spend it on so that they have nothing left to save. So it must be something that we determine to do. That since we have decided that we desire to build our wealth, which we have learned from this richest man in Babylon, that it can only happen if we don't spend everything that we earn, it will be impossible then for us to make wealth. And that's why in this cure, he brings up the issue of being able to control your expenses. And this is what he offers as the way forward. He says, study thoughtfully thy accustomed habits of living. Herein may be most often found certain accepted expenses that may wisely be reduced or eliminated. Let thy motto be 100% of appreciated value demanded for each coin that you spend. So what the richest man is in Babylon is inviting us to do is to tell us, take time and list down everything that you spend your money on. In modern language, and even in the book, he uses the word budget. Go and do a budget and ask, how exactly do I spend my money? I live in a rented house, so I pay rent. Every so often, I have to buy new clothes for myself. Every day, of course, I eat. I have wife, I have children, I have people who depend on me, and I make sure that their needs are also met. I may be having children in school, I pay school fees. Write all those things down, and they are necessities. I also have friends, and on Sundays and Fridays in the weekend, you want to go out and have an easy time. We would like to go out and have holidays with my family or whoever and write all these things down. Exactly how do you spend your money? And you will be able to tell that of all I earn, why I cannot save anything, it's because I have this. Some of them necessities, and the other things he calls desires, which we have, and which he has actually managed to convince us that they keep on growing. You can never satisfy all the desires that you have. Every time you have some income increase, then you will always realize this thing I've always wanted to do and haven't been able to do because I didn't have enough money, and now is the time to start doing it. So that's what tends to take up priority than getting the habit of saving and putting aside money. And what the richest man in Babylon is saying, once you have done all that, you will have probably found how you spent 100% of everything that you earn. And he says, now cut that budget to only 90%, reduce some of those desires that are in that list of expenditure, because you truly desire to grow wealth. And the more you grow wealth, the more then in the long run you can accommodate more of the desires, more of the things that you feel that you need to kind of gratify yourself with. But unless you do the sacrifice up front, then you will never have the luxury of enjoying that in the long term. And that really is the invitation that we are given here. If we want to start seeing our wealth growing, our bank accounts looking healthy, some investments trying to show up on our balance sheet, that we go ahead and begin and budget so that we make sure on our budget and how we spend our money, it is never more than 90% of the income that we earn. And in conclusion, he says, this then is the second cure of a lean purse. Budget thy expenses, that thou mayest have coins to pay for thy necessities, to pay for thy enjoyments, and to gratify thy worldly desires without spending more than 9/10 of thy earnings. So key lessons again to take away from today is know that we all have enough desires to keep on increasing and expanding to fit into whatever income that we earn today or in the future. Know that we have necessities, things that we must do, and those cannot miss in our budget, and they are also gratified at various levels. That's why even when it comes to things like rent, we choose a house that is within our means, and somebody else chooses a bigger house or a different suburb or stuff like that. Our children's schools all come to show how we choose the best education that our incomes can buy. Those are necessities, and they vary in amounts. And then there are desires. There is how much you spend for our own entertainment, and things like those can be looked at if they are threatening the 1/10 that we need to save. And finally, it is for us to be able to budget those necessities and the desires we choose to continue gratifying, so that they fit within the 90% of our income, so that we can then keep on putting aside at least 1/10 that will be making our purse fatten or our investments grow. And that is the coaching minute for today. And as always reach out for a helping hand, and if you can, hold someone else's too. Thank you.